this video, I'll show how I was able to replace an alternator in a 1.0 liter Volkswagen Passat. The tools I used were a 17 and 13 open wrench, number 10 socket, a pair of channel locks, adjustable wrench, and flathead screwdriver. I'll use the number 7, 8, and 9 on this Allen set, and I use a small one, which I'll explain later. First thing is take off the gasket, then remove the cover. Be careful, it is very sharp. You could cut yourself. And it slips underneath here. So you lift up and just pull up and out. It comes right out. Next thing, this battery terminal, someone had messed up the nut, so I used this adjustable wrench. So I removed the positive cable from the battery, put it back on hand tight, started the car. The car's running. I removed the positive terminal from the battery, checked back to the engine, and the car did stop. So I know that the battery is good and the alternator needs to be repaired. It's a 17 open end wrench to release tension from the tensioner, as shown here. You just pull back, the belt comes right off. Next I'll go to my Allen wrenches, and I'll use a number 7 here for the top bolt. And number 8 for the bottom bolt. I'll just break those loose for now. Next, I'm going to remove the tensioner with a 13 open end wrench. There are 3 bolts here. I'll show a quick just breaking them open. Now I'll remove the cold air intake going to the throttle body. There's just top clamp here that I'll use a flathead for, and at the bottom the manufacturer has this clip. You just pry up on this clip here with a flathead screwdriver. Get better access to it on this side. You can see it just pops right up. Once that's up, the whole tube should just come right out. Now I'll take my flathead screwdriver and just kind of try to point where I'll be taking this bolt. You can't see it from here, so I got a camera in the back. This is the back bolt that actually holds fan clutch assembly in place. So the easiest way to get to this, the easiest way to do this was to remove this bolt and let this fan sit a couple inches down. So I'll take my Allen wrench, and you can see the fan's moving back and forth easily. There's no tension on it. So I'll take another Allen wrench, and you can see here on the bottom of the alternator there's these 2 grooves here. It's perfect for using this Allen wrench to slide it through, and into the wheel, the pulley wheel, there's little holes there. You find a hole and you just push it all the way through. You see there, you can see the Allen wrench poking out on the other side. So now I have that held in place, I can break this one loose as well. Unloosen with my fingers and remove it. Now the fan clutch assembly should just pop right off. There you go, and you have enough access now to remove this bottom bolt from the alternator. It's a very long bolt. You can't remove this without at least getting the fan away. Now I'm going to remove the positive off the battery terminal, and this just comes right out once those 2 bolts are removed. Use a screwdriver to kind of pry it. And right on the top you have a electrical connector. Just remove that. Now you have a cable that goes from the alternator to the battery bolted down, so use your socket to remove that bolt. Remove the coolant line because it is in the way, and just use the channel locks, open up that clamp. now the alternator slides right out. You can see here, it's your bolt on the back, there's your electrical connector, and this is a 90 amp because this car is automatic. I went ahead and got the new alternator. They only had a 120 amp in stock, but it will work for this vehicle just the same. You take the bolt off and you pop that little locking washer. You want to pop that off. Now just position the alternator so you can get this cable back on here. Put the lock washer on and then the nut. Go ahead and grab the socket and tighten away. Now I can fit the alternator and make sure it all lines up correctly, and it looks good. So I'll take the bottom bolt first and put it in the bottom hole, and then I'll take the top bolt next and put it into the top hole. I found that doing the bottom bolt first is a lot easier than trying to go from the top down. Now I'll take my Allen wrench, put some tension on the bottom bolt, my second Allen wrench, put some tension from the top. Now I'll get the fan clutch assembly back in place, and I'll just hold it there until I can slide that bolt back in the back. Once I get the bolt in, I can tighten up the fan. Once I hand tighten the bolt, I can use this Allen wrench again to hold the fan in place, and then use the big Allen wrench in the back to tighten that down. Now I'll put in the tensioner. I like to place the 3 bolts in the tensioner holes and then drop the whole assembly down. It makes it a lot easier when putting this back together. Now the pulley's tightened down, I can use my box wrench to remove tension from it, and now I can slide the belt over back onto the alternator pulley wheel. Now I can put the air intake hose back onto the manifold. And remember to get your bottom clip and to screw it back down with the hose clamp on top. Now the coolant hose can go back on. Use my channel locks to get that pipe clamp back on there. And I'll start the car and make sure everything's running. I'll remove this battery terminal on the positive side one more time, check the engine, and everything is running. So looks like we fixed the problem. Again, this bolt was stripped out. I just used that pair of pliers. You reassemble this, you just slide that underneath there, and it sits just like so. You use this gasket here, and this just holds it in place on the front. Simple as that. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.